Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dorothy Morgan, professional astrologer. We're talking about June 30th today. We got a few things in the sky that can be a bit energizing. We'll just say it that way, right? Very activating energy right now for Friday. No, it's not Friday. It feels like it. For June 30th, Thursday, June 30th. There's an awful lot going on in the sky. So I'm going to talk about that. The moon is still new. The moon is still in the sign of Cancer for most of the day. So that means since the new moon that we had on the 28th, the moon stayed in the sign of Cancer. It's going really slow. And through that sign, just because of where it is in the sky and what it looks like from here on the earth, and that intensifies. It's like a simmer, right? Things are simmering, and that moon in Cancer in her own sign, the emotion is simmering and coming to the surface. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but in the meantime, I just want you to know, welcome to the new folks who are here. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. YouTube is not always great at giving us stuff that we want to watch. It gives you what it thinks you want to watch. And the only way you'll know if I put up something new is to click the notification button. So I appreciate that. We have Astro dice. We're going to do them after the astrology, the full forecast, and then we'll pick a card from here. So I'm going to share my screen. A lot of you know this because you're regulars, and those who don't, we get to learn because I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. And just to be clear, I don't use the ascendant, I don't use the midheaven, and I do not talk about the house placements because depending on where you live, things are in different places, okay? And we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to grab my toolbar here so I can draw things. I like to draw when I'm looking, when I'm pointing at stuff. So this is still the moon still new. She's not that far away. Has to be 45 degrees away from the sun to be in the next lunar phase, which would be a crescent moon. So still in the new moon phase, even though it looks like a crescent when the sun sets, it's not officially. Has to be 45 degrees away. So this means that it's new. And again, with the moon moving as slow as it does, when it's in the sign of Cancer, and that's because it's out of bounds and that makes it slower. That's science of it. I won't go any further than that. It makes it go slower. It looks like it's going slower. So we have a longer time for things to simmer. So just like turning something on your stove or putting your crock pot on in the morning and just letting it slowly cook, something is something's simmering, and it has just been slowly coming to a head. Moon in Cancer is our emotions, how we feel, what we need to be nurtured, to feel safe, to feel comfort. You know, it's when you come home and you take off your clothes and you put on your comfy things and you find your comfy chair and get your favorite drink. It's that type of what we want, what makes us feel comfortable and safe. And not safe because we're fear, but we need those things. We need that. And that's what that Cancer energy is about. Okay. And so we're feeling a lot of this. So here on Thursday, the 30th, we also have the square to Mars, and the moon is opposite Pluto. So what we have going on here, and this is Thursday, 30th, the moon is triggering a square to Mars action. So if you have things that are simmering inside, whether you're angry or not even overly emotional, but whether you're emotional about what's gone on in the world around us, or you have something personal that you are working on. I know a few people that have had persons pass away, and so family members. And so that's what they're paying attention to. We all will be paying attention to something that might be different, but it's still emotion. It's still emotional things, whether it's about the court hearing in Roe v. Wade, because the moon in Cancer represents family. So whether that is something that you're happy about or you're not happy about, that is an emotion that is just in here simmering. And if you haven't expressed it, it could sit there and simmer. And when the moon does make the first aspect, it makes it square to Mars. That happens at, I'm going to look, 2:17 p.m. on the 30th. as we're moving to that, something personally in your life could just come out, right? You could just have a big emotional burst, whether it's happiness or sadness or crying or anger. It can come to the surface. It can be very healing and very cathartic. You know what I'm saying? It can be very healing. So if you're feeling the need for, if emotions are coming to the surface for you, please don't stuff it down and find a really helpful, useful way for yourself to work through it. Because I'll say it again, Moon squaring Mars happens once a month, actually happens twice a month, but it isn't always when the moon is new, and it isn't always when we're in such a emotional period here in this time right now. And then 2 hours later at 4:14, which is what I have up here. It's just from my latitude and longitude, Eastern Daylight Time. You can adjust to whatever your time zone is, but the moon will be opposite Pluto 2 hours after it makes its square to Mars. And on July 1st is the exact aspect between Mars and Pluto, the exact square between Mars and Pluto. So that's a big thing. So this creates, if you allow yourself to take your emotions, Moon in Cancer, take some action that is important to you, Mars in Aries. That means, what do I need? Okay. And you do that and you use that, then you're going to be able to transform something in your life. And that is the Pluto in Capricorn, the moon opposite Pluto. So it creates that. All right. So we have this opportunity for a major transformative, evolving moment here on Thursday, June 30th. Gosh, and it's really deep. That's deep. I know that's deep. All right. And I'm going to stop my share now. There's a lot of noise outside. I almost got distracted. All right. We're going to do Astro Dice now. So, I would like to ask Spirit for if there's anything else that it needs, that we need to know. And so we'll see. So I'm going to roll the die, and each one, if you're not familiar, is a house, a planet, and the signs. So I get, well, it's just really appropriate. I rolled Mars and Aries in the first house. That's absolute rulership. If you don't have these die, you can get them. I just bought these 3 guys loose because, I don't want to pay $30 for a tin box that I already have. And my old ones, they're right here, but the gold markings off on them, and I couldn't find a gold pen. So I just bought another set, and they just came like this in a plastic bag. So buy them. And they were only like $10, less than $10. So I just rolled Mars and Aries in the first house. And for those of you who are new astrologers and still trying to memorize your rulership, this is really helpful. It helps you to create the astrological sentences as well. Mars and Aries in the first house, that's its absolute rulership. That means what is it? This is like, it needs to be personal. Whatever choices or decisions you're trying to make right now, it's absolutely personal, and it's about you. You're allowed to be selfish, to think about, what do I need? What do I need from whatever the situation is that's going on in your life? Okay. That is the question that we ask ourselves. Each roll of the dice, they're typically pretty appropriate for what I'm talking about. The synchronicities lately have just been through the roof. And the reason for that is just because it's a great mystery. A couple cards came out. The great mystery came out, which is that when we can see what's going on astrologically, it's still a mystery. I don't want to go there. I was trying to say something, but just piss people off. I'm not gonna. I have Mars and Aries, and I don't want to piss people off. I'll speak my mind after Mars is done being in Aries. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm just looking at, let's make choices and let's focus on the things that we can control. I've been made aware of through some of my students, other astrologers, which is fine. I mean, look at whoever you want. I mean, I do not care about those things. But then I go and they're like, have you seen this? Look at this. And I will go look, and it's just like so much doom and gloom. Mars square Pluto, that is definitely with this moon today. Mars square Pluto, moon opposite Pluto, moon square Mars. I mean, there is some energy here, but the energy, we can focus on what is positive for you, or you can just go down that rabbit hole of negative and fear. And then, and I see these astrologers doing that, and they're super popular. I mean, 10 times the views that I have, right? And then at the end of it, they go, oh, but, always spread love and light. I'm so tired of that. See, so I did say it after all. It's just ridiculous. Crap happens, and crap is always happening. And we have been through an awful lot in these last couple of years, just as a collective, let alone the personal journeys everybody has been on. So for things to feel a little more, or for things, whatever's going on astrologically, for it to create more change, yeah, we're in the throes of major changes, and it just doesn't end here. Peace pipe shows up. But we still need to choose. What are you going to choose? You're going to choose the personal things. You're going to bring it back to what you know you can do, what your conscience wants to do, and what you feel makes a difference for you, for your family, for what's important to you. That's what this is all about. Peace pipe. If you're holding the pipe, you're not holding the weapon. And if you smoke too much, you'll all just sit there and get along. But that's not what this meant. I mean, I was being facetious. No, it was true. But this card does, in the tradition of what it is. It's like sitting down. It's like listening to others, and not just listening to others, and all of the leaders, all of us, whatever you believe in, this is us sitting down, passing the pipe, and saying we can agree to disagree, but we still can be peaceful and civil to each other. I feel like I'm preaching. Kind of am. I'll leave us with that. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, or maybe I won't. July 1st is tomorrow. So anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Blessings and namaste.